Hello everybody, welcome to Star Spice Home Cooking Edition with Miss Erica, and today we have an amazing treat for you. I have my son AJ here. You guys, some of you know him from the store, and he's going to help me and us and the family prepare our Thanksgiving dinner. Today we want to show you what we do for Thanksgiving. My family, because we're around so much food on a regular basis, we don't like to eat traditional Thanksgiving stuff. We go out of our way every year to cook something different, so we usually have teams. But today we don't really have a team. We just get a couple of stuff that we like, and today we're going to show you just a few of those. So one of the things on the menu is turkey wings. The family doesn't necessarily care for the whole turkey, but we'll definitely do a great smothered wing. So that's on the menu today. We'll do some turkey wings. Today my son, who's really good at making pies, is going to make some amazing pies for us. That's why he's here. He's going to do the pie edition of our dinner. And I want to make some sides, some candy yam. Simple. I'm going to show you how quick and how easy it is. We already have our sweet potato, which is the main event. We put it to boil. All we did was wash the sweet potato, put it in the pot to boil until it's nice and tender. I'm going to allow this to cool off, and half of this potato I'm going to make my candy yam, and the other half I'm going to try to make the potato pie with it. So it's gonna be a treat. You can slow it down as you watch it to see if there's anything you like and you would like to try. But I want to wash the turkey wings and get that prepared. The preparation is pretty easy. All we need is seasoning, salt, whatever your seasoning spices are, the dry seasonings, and we'll put some peppers and some onions for flavor. So these turkey wings, we bought them from the store. They were whole, so ahead of time we just cut them in pieces. You know, you just do your wings the way you like them. Some people like them whole. I like them pieces. Cooks a little faster. Some vinegar on this. Okay guys, our turkey wings are nice and washed and drained. I'm gonna spread them out in the pan. I'll just take our seasoning spices and give them a generous serving. Actually, I forgot. Let me put some oil so that the seasoning sticks. So I want to make sure both sides have the seasoning powder. Now this turkey wings is ready to go just as it is, but just for some extra flavor and points, we're gonna put a little bit of onions. And we're gonna put some peppers. Guys, we're going to, after we put on our peppers and our garnish, this is obviously gonna cook down in the oven. We're gonna cover this and we're gonna put it in our oven at 425 degrees for about an hour and have it cooked, and after an hour we'll check it. Yes. All right. So at this point we're gonna move forward with the rest of our Thanksgiving dinner, which is the pies. We want to make sure we get those pies together, so I'm gonna get my son and we're gonna start taking care of the pies.
Hey guys, how you doing? So today I'm gonna show you how to do my pie crust today. It's pretty easy. I mean, we have very few ingredients here. We have stuff like flour. I have flour here and some to the side for later. I also have some sugar, some salt, and some ice cold water. You also have some butter right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my flour in to your bowl. Right. And what you want to do is add all your dry ingredients first. So you're gonna have some salt, some sugar. You're gonna mix it in with your hand before you put anything else in your bowl. Alright, make sure that's nice and mixed. And I have some butter over here that I grated, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw this butter inside. Alright. So now when you're mixing butter for pie crust, there's a certain way you gotta do it. You don't really want to smash it in. You kind of want to take your crust and use the tips of your finger and kind of just massage it in there until it starts to crumble. Alright guys, so I'm just taking the tips of my finger. I'm trying not to mash too much, and I'm crumbling the dough. Now you want to make sure your butter is cold when you do this process, because if your butter is too melty, the flour won't crumble like this, right? So now I feel like my dough is nice and crumbled. Your dough probably melts a little bit because of the heat of your hands. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some more flour in there, right? Just to make sure all the dough is nice and ready for your water. I'm gonna bring back some of the flour if the butter was too melty. Okay, so my flour looking nice and crumbly, guys. Once I feel like the flour is nice, crumbled, and separated, my next step is I'm gonna go ahead and take my ice water. Right, you see how nice and crumbly it is? I'm gonna go ahead and take my ice water that I have here. Now I'm gonna take my teaspoon and I'm gonna add water in slowly at a time. Alright, so now a little bit more water. 1, 2, 3. Bring the last bit of this flour together. Okay guys, again, I'm just trying to pick up wherever I get. You see these starting to come together. The last bit of dough inside the bag. Alright, so all your mixing is done, guys, believe it or not. Now all we need to do is roll out this dough and pop it in the fridge to, I'm going to do tablespoons, sorry. And I'm going to add it slowly at a time. I'm going to do about 3 at a time at first. Now, I don't want to do everything at one time just because I want to make sure that I'm not putting in too much water. Okay? So about 3 right there. I'm going to mix that in slowly. Alright. Now about another 3 right here. Try it on the side. And guys, you have to adjust depending on how the flour is, right? So again, I'm not gonna put too much. I'm gonna do it slowly and see if the flour is starting to come together. If it comes together, then I know I have enough. If it doesn't, that means I need more. Looks like I need a little bit more. Now this might take a little bit, but at least you know you're not gonna over wet your flour, because it's hard to come back from when you put too much water inside. Okay, guys, I can feel it starting to come together, guys. See this? See how it's starting to crumble together? Having like clumps. That's what you're looking for. You don't want everything to come together all together. You're gonna take these little clumps, we're gonna put it into a bag. We're gonna take these little clumps like this, you see? And we're all gonna put this into a bag. I have a bag over here on the side. This bag right here. This is what we use, a simple Ziploc bag. If you have parchment paper, you can also use that too. But I'm gonna take my little crumbled up pieces and I'm gonna put it inside there. And I'm not gonna force it, but whatever comes up after I'm applying some pressure, that's what I'm gonna put inside there. Not forcing it, but if I have any clumps that come up, I apply a little bit of pressure. That's what I'm gonna put inside my bag. Okay, guys. All right, so it seems like I got a little bit more dry material down here. I'm gonna put just a little bit more water to bring up all of this and put my last clump. 1 second, guys. So at this point, you're already done mixing, believe it or not. So all you got to do now is take your dough, we're gonna roll it out, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge to sit for a while. Alright, guys? So my first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and start pressing down my dough a little bit. Not too much, I wanna bring everything into the middle. Okay? And I know it looks really crumbly right now, guys, but as you roll, the butter itself and the heat is actually gonna bring all of this together. Okay, so I'm gonna do one across. Gotta flatten it out as much as I can. Not too much now, but just enough. Once I feel like I have it nice and flat, I'm gonna go back into the bag. Take it from the bottom, and while it's in the bag, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. Alright? I'm gonna flip it in half. Now the reason why you're flipping it in half, because you kind of want to make layers with your pie crust, and the more you do this, it helps make a layer in the pie crust while it bakes. Alright, so now I have it like this. Again, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Flatten out a little bit. Go ahead and roll. Okay, guys. Starting to come together very nicely. All them crumbly parts that went in there, they're starting to come together as the butter starts to melt from you rolling. Okay, so we're gonna probably flip it one more time. This actually looks pretty good. We're gonna flip it one more time just to make sure everything's nice and ready to go. Take it from this side, flip it this way one more time. Now for this final flip, it should be ready to pop in the fridge. Okay, guys. Alright, guys. You should be good there. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 30 to an hour. And I'll be right back. Guys, so it's been about an hour. I just got my pie dough out the fridge. It's ready to go. Alright, so at this point I'm putting the flour on the table, because if you put your pie dough on the table without any flour, it's gonna stick, especially when the butter starts to melt when you roll it out, guys. So make sure you put some flour on your table. Okay. Oh, sorry, I was just putting some pieces together. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this piece in half, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna use 1/2 for the bottom of the pie and 1/2 for the top of the pie, guys. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside for now. Flatten out a little bit, put some flour on top so it don't get stuck to your rolling pin. And let's go ahead. Alright, guys, the pie looks like it's coming together. It's about a 1/4 inch across. That's the measurements I'm looking for to actually put on top of the pie. And everything looks pretty uniform. Now you guys, once you feel like everything is even all the way around, now what you guys are gonna do is make sure you have your pie pan ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of flour, put it around the top, and I'm gonna put the rolling pin right in the middle. Now I do this just because not everybody has the most delicate hands when it comes to this crust. You don't really want to mess up your crust like that. So you're gonna go ahead and roll it onto your rolling pin. Alright, now I'm gonna take my pie crust right here and I'm gonna lay it on my pan. Alright. Adjust as needed. Okay guys, so I don't need all this excess skin, but I am gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut all the way around, leaving just enough on the side so when I want to crumble it and make a design for my pie crust, I can. Okay guys, so just like that, go all the way around, and we're good to go. That's your pie crust laying, ready for filling. Now I'm going to show you how to do the filling for your apple pie. We have a few things here. We have some butter, some flour, some sugar, water, and I also have some cinnamon and nutmeg to the side because as you can see over here, I have some pre-sliced apple that we're going to put inside your apple pie. Alright, so we're going to leave this aside for now. The first thing I want you to do, guys, is get a saucepan, a small saucepan, and I want you to put the fire to about medium fire. Maybe a little bit lower than medium, but around that medium side. And then you're going to drop in your butter. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and keep on stirring my butter till it melts. Just make sure you keep on stirring this, guys, consistently. You don't want the butter or any of the ingredients to sit too long. This process is only going to take you about 5 minutes, so don't worry, you're not going to be here all day. But you do want to keep on stirring your butter while it's cooking. Okay? Right now, I'm going to keep on stirring until all this butter is nice and melted. Okay, guys. And now, just let your pan heat up a little bit. Starts to let the butter boil a little bit. And then we're gonna throw in our flour, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna let this butter boil up a little bit. Once I start seeing some bubbles, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my flour. There you go, it's coming in. Again, guys, this might seem like a lot of work, but trust me, the end result is worth it. Just make sure you keep on churning your butter while you're doing this. As you can see, the bubbles are starting to form, so that gives me the sign to add my flour now. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and add some flour into the pan. There we go. And we're going to let that mix in a little bit. Keep on turning the whole time, guys. I got my flour and water and everything in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add me some water and some sugar, guys. Okay. And now have everything in there. Yeah, as you can see, the filling is starting to come together. Right, it's starting to get a little bit. There we go. Now at this point, guys, you can lower your temperature, your heat just a little bit. While you're still stirring, you want to throw it down a little bit. Stir it up for about, I'm gonna say 1 more minute. Just make sure everything's nice and mixed up and boiled down. Everything's starting to come together. And that's it for that part, guys. The filling is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the fire. I'm gonna let this sit for about a good minute or two while I go handle my apples. Alright guys, I'll be right back to this one. Alright guys, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract as well for flavor, alright? Half a tablespoon of vanilla extract, sorry guys, half a tablespoon. Alright. Alright guys. on the apple pie. Nice and comes together. Been cooling for about 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and mix it in. So remember that bowl of apples you had prior. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that inside. That might still be a little bit hot, so you can go ahead and take a spoon if you don't want to use your hands. And you're gonna mix it in. Okay, guys? Very simple. And pretty much we're gonna take the pie crust and throw this in there. See how that cinnamon and nutmeg is mixing with the actual filling you just made? It tastes amazing, guys, trust me. I know it seemed like it was a lot of work and a lot of spinning, but the end result is worth it. Alright, so now I got my filling ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and take out my crust, fill it, and I'm gonna show you guys how to actually finish off your pie and put it into the oven. Go ahead and show you my pecan pie filling. So what I have here is I have some pecans I have put to the side. I put on the baking tray and put in the oven for about 10 minutes for about 320. Nothing too higher than that because that's gonna burn the pecans, right guys? So after about 10 minutes I took it out and we're gonna keep that to the side. I also put about a teaspoon of nutmeg and a teaspoon of cinnamon in here, right? So we're gonna keep that to the side. For here, I have some eggs inside here, about 3 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. Okay. Also got some dark corn syrup right here. I'm gonna put inside. Remember guys, all your measurements you can find in the video description. So I got some corn syrup right here, making a big old mess. Alright, we also got some butter to the side, guys. We got vanilla and almond extract here. And I also have some sugar. Okay. So all this is gonna mix up together. Alright guys, so everything comes together. So you get all that corn syrup in there. And guys, please taste it, adjust it as you want. Sometimes I like to put extra almond, extra vanilla. And as you can see, everything's starting to come together, and it has a nice caramel color. That's how you know you did a good job. It sounded like caramel a little bit. Alright guys, there we go. Okay, so now I got my filling done. I'm gonna go ahead and take that same filling. And you remember that pecans from earlier? You're gonna go ahead and throw it inside. There we go. Okay guys, just like before, I'm gonna mix these together. And you have your pie filling. There we go. So, just like the apple, I'm gonna take out the crust. I'll be right back to you when I'm ready to fill them.
Hey guys, we're spoiling you today with the pies. My son just showed you, AJ just showed you how to do the apple pie and how to do the pecan pie. It's the same dough. We're just using different fillings, and since we love dessert in this family, we're just making the different one. So here I have sweet potato pie. In the beginning of the show, I showed you that I boiled them whole until they were soft on the stove. While we were doing the other things, I put it to cool, and so I started mashing it, and now I'm just gonna add the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna add our sugar, our cinnamon, our nutmeg, our essence, some heavy cream, and 1 egg. Now I'll use the hand mixer just to bring everything together. So you want to make sure you mix this until your filling is very smooth. And now all we have to do is add it to our pie crust, and we're gonna put our pie crust to bake. So we have 3 fillings and we want to do them all together so you can see how easy it is just to put the filling in. This stuff, we did it in front of the camera, but you can do this ahead of time, a day before, early in the morning, so that you're not just bogged down. And it's one crust, the same crust that we use for everything. And so now we're just gonna make our filling and put them in the oven. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for, we made all 3 of our filling. We're just gonna fill these pies and get them in the oven for you guys. Go ahead with your apple, AJ. I'm gonna throw the pecan. Is this supposed to be like this?
Let's let it cool down a little bit, but alright, y'all. So for this one, I have this is the only pie we're gonna do today, guys, as you actually need a top for. So in advance, earlier, the rolling technique I showed you guys earlier, and I put the top onto the pan. Onto the rolling pin. So now I'm gonna lay it on top. Feel my sides, see where I need to cut. Yeah, I'm gonna cut all my excess off before I start crimping this, guys. Feel around the sides, see where the excess is. Now that I cut a lot of my excess out, what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna take my corners and I'm gonna cramp the pie. So what I do is I press the 2 sides together, I kind of fold it in, and I use my finger to press it. Okay, guys, so you're gonna do that all the way around your pie until you have a nice looking design. I got too much on the outside, guys, so I'm just gonna cut to make sure I don't overdo the actual dough. Alright, guys, so yeah, that's more like it. And now I can actually come in and start to make my pie look nice. But one thing I want you guys to make sure you do is that you press all the way around after you cut and make sure both sides of your pie is connected. We're also going to do an egg wash at the end, and that's going to help bring the 2 sides together as well. But just make sure you press hard between your top and bottom side, guys, so when you go to bake your pies, it stays together. Okay, so now I have all my excess off. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing my pie together. Okay, guys. Take my finger and I'm kind of pinching down and I'm pushing at the same time. Guys, so now I got the sides all around the cramped. I'm going to go ahead and poke some holes to the top of it. The reason why, because while your pie is baking, you want to make sure some air is being released, or it has a chance of blowing up on you a little bit, right? Or overflowing. So you want to make sure air is being released while it's in the oven. See, just a few holes around with your fork to make sure that the air actually comes out while it's baking, guys. Alright, so now I got everything. Got my holes and everything cramped. I'm gonna go ahead and take my little egg wash, which is just egg and water, guys. And we're gonna egg wash it before we actually throw it into the oven to give it a nice golden brown color. And also helps seal those 2 ends, those 2 sides that you have, the top and bottom, when you egg wash it, alright? So make sure all the sides is nice and egg washed. Don't overdo it now, but just put a nice layer on top. Alright, guys, so now this is egg wash. I'll be right back to you. I'm ready to put in the oven.
This is my sweet potato pie. I don't have the skills AJ do. This is not my forte. I'm just helping. So he said at this point we have to egg wash, and just in the name of teamwork, I'm egg washing my amazing sweet potato pie with the crimps of an artist. See the crimps? You see the crimps? This is an artist. I did this, guys. I did this all by myself. AJ did not help. So I'm gonna put it in the oven. Just trying to still get the temperature. Okay, we're gonna put our apple pie in the oven.
So before I actually put in my pecan pie, I'm gonna go ahead and give the top a design a little bit. So what I do is I usually take it like this, and I'm literally just sending it all around, right? Again, it's a little time consuming, I know, but at least you know when you're done with your pie, you're gonna look nice and pretty. So I'm literally taking this and I'm gonna go all the way around my pie with it. Now again, this is gonna take me a second, so I'm gonna cut back to when I finish this and I'll show you guys the end result, alright? Alright guys, so as you can see, I put my little design on top. I'm gonna go ahead, just like the other pies, egg wash the sides, and then throw it in there. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and just throw this in the oven, guys, alright? We have all of our beautiful pies baking there. Sweet potato, apple, and pecan. Okay, so we're gonna have our pies in there for about 425, about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna reduce the heat to about 350 for 30 to 45 minutes. It varies depending on how golden brown your pie crust is, okay guys? So only 15 minutes and you're gonna reduce your heat down to 350. It's very important. If you don't reduce it around that 15-minute mark, it's not gonna bake well. Okay guys?
Hey guys, with the rest of our sweet potato that I boiled earlier, I had boiled 3 of them. 1 of them I used for the filling for the pie, and the other 2 I sliced them up. They're already pre-boiled, so it doesn't take very long in the oven. And what I'm gonna do is just mix my ingredients. I have sugar, I have a little bit of white sugar, a little bit of brown sugar, some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some heavy cream. Want to mix that all together. I also have a little bit of vanilla essence in here that I had put already in the heavy cream, and I'm gonna pour this on. Goes into the oven, it's gonna break down and come together. I don't like my candy yam too wet, and then I'll put some butter on top, just a dot, that I have in the fridge. Okay. Sprinkle all of this heavy cream. And this is the butter. I slice them up ahead of time, and I'll just place them so the butter will melt all the way through. This candy yam, the entire family loves it. It's a little different. I've tried different types of candy yam. This is the one that we love. It comes out really, really good. Very, very simple, and it comes out amazing. So I'm going to put this in. While I put this in, we're gonna take our turkey wings out because I want to check it. It's been about an hour since it's been in there. Ooh, these turkey wings look so good. We're gonna turn them over. Alrighty guys, we're making a sauce to throw on our turkey. Our turkey is right here. It came out of the oven and it's beautifully brown. We just want to make a sauce to infuse the gravy and get that back in the oven. So we have some butter that's already in the pot, like a half a stick of butter. I'm gonna bring this to soften on medium fire, and then we'll add some flour to make a roux. All right, the butter is almost melted. I am going ahead and add flour. We wanted this flour to cook really nice. I'm turning the fire down because I don't want it to burn. And you want to keep this stirring so that it has a little bit of color and it's cooked all the way through. You don't want to have raw flour. And this is now when we will add our gravy from the turkey with all of that good bits. You want to smother this. Bring this to a nice boil. When this comes up to a boil, I'll add my seasoning salt and then I'll add some fresh herbs. And we're gonna throw this smothered gravy back on the turkey. Our gravy is cooking so nicely. It's nice and thick. I'm gonna add our seasoning salt. And then I'll add our fresh herbs. This is the last bit of flavoring. Too thick. All right, so our smothered gravy is coming together nicely. We're gonna throw this in the pan on the turkey wings, and we'll put it back in the oven for the last 10 minutes just to have all the flavors soaked in. And this is gonna be the gravy for our meal. Hi guys, as we gather at our table on this Thanksgiving, we just want to take the time to thank from our family. We just want to take the time to thank you and your family for all of the support that you've given us throughout the years at Star Spice. We thank you for your continue to come every single day, every single year. And as we made our amazing recipes for you guys, we pray that you'll try them. We hope that you will try them for this Thanksgiving and serve them to your family. We want to thank you guys once again for all of your support, and from our family to yours, we just want to say Happy Thanksgiving.